Hello, I'm Jude, and as always, welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining me. It's massively appreciated. Make sure you do all the good stuff. You know what that is. Hit the thumbs up, get involved in the comments, subscribe if you're new, hit that notification bell and you'll never miss anything I do. But most of all, thank you for your view and for checking out Jude playing to the grave. Now, I was contemplating doing a team of this or a group of players, but I had a lot of time. I've been working on a new story called Steel City, which I am very excited about, putting a lot of work into that. And I obviously saw an article that probably most of us have seen that kind of shocked me in a way. I didn't realise that no other English player had ever done this, ever. But Jude Bellingham, who of course has gone to Real Madrid, has been the first ever English player to win La Liga Player of the Month. Blew me away. I mean, this kid, he's still a kid. I feel like he's been around forever and he's started his career at Real Madrid. Fantastic. But in this video, he's not going to Real Madrid. No, we're gonna, like I did with the Hendrick video, push this lad to the limits, and I push him even further. It's absolutely bonkers. I think I finally break the game, and you'll see at the end, definitely break something. No idea what's going on with it, but it's really interesting. I really liked it. Hopefully you're gonna like it too. And I decided to send Jude to India, massive country, like 1 billion people. The football league's pretty poop, to be honest, and see if he can maximise his career as long as possible. See what he can do. I've got a few little other things to share with you and show you. So that is it. I love you long time. Thanks for sharing this with me. Thanks for being here with me. Have you got a brew? Because I haven't. I think I need one. Let's get into it. So welcome to India, to Guwahati. Apparently that's where we are with North East United FC. Now, in my Hendrick video, I sent him to Gibraltar. Poor league. I thought, you know, he might play more, but I'll put him at the best team. With this one, I wanted to put him at the worst team, but if you know me, my long-time subs will know, I've got a bit of OCD when it comes to logos and kits, and the worst team in the league, I couldn't find the kits anywhere, and I couldn't be bothered doing a logo myself, so I picked the second worst team, and that is North East United FC. Never heard of the manager, never heard of their vice-captain. Not a clue. They've got a decent sized stadium though. Do you know what I mean? I mean, he could do alright. Can he? Well, when he's in his prime, can he transform this team from absolutely turd to something good? Because they have won nothing ever in their history. And here is Jude, 19 years old, of course, at the start of last season. So in real life, he would have played another year at Borussia Dortmund, and now he's moved to Real Madrid. That's not happening. He's lost a year at Dortmund, and he's not going to Madrid. Now, I've done something quite cool. He's a wonder kid as well. I've done something quite cool, I think. Just a little add-on that I'm going to compare with you later. But we know he's a fantastic player. I've played a million seasons and series this year, as you know. Most of you will know. He's always great. Fantastic player. Turns into an absolute baller. Gets a million caps. He's got 15 at the minute on here. How's that going to develop in India? Will it affect him? We'll see. Playing at a shit level. But it's just the end of it. I mean, the Hendrick one, something mad, I won't ruin it in case you haven't seen it, but something mad happens near the end. When you think of his age, this one's mad, but I love it, and it gets madder. So if you watched the Hendrick video, you'll know this. If you didn't, basically you can only give a future contract of a maximum to 2,100. The game will carry on after that, and I'll know that, but you can only give a contract to then. So I've given the contract to 2,099, so he can go home to Birmingham for one season, and we will get there as well this time. Right, if we head over to the bookies, you'll see that North East United are still second favourites to go down, even though they've got Jude Bellingham in the team. He's not made an effect. He is in the Dream Team 11. The worst team, I think, was Odisha. You can see they've got no logo, no kits, and I couldn't be asked. Don't know why they're 7th. Now, I've got the whole Indian league structure on. Now, when I get all these random leagues, I get them from the Steam Workshop, and I use two guys in particular. One guy called Riddler, who does it every year. I've used him on JOURNEYMAN series. His work's brilliant, but on this one I've used a guy called Tenshi. I use him as well. They're the two main creators. They always create all the leagues that are missing. Tenshi and Riddler. I don't know him personally, but the work's spot on, and this is Tenshi's Indian league system. So I think we'll just get into it and jump 10 years into the future. It's now 2032, and Jude Bellingham was, of course, made the captain. But this is him in his pomp. He's in his peak right now. Has he turned this team into something special? Because they're crap, and they would always be crap. Are they crap anymore? No, they've won an Indian Super League, They've won 2 Shields, whatever they are, 1 AFC Cup, a Hero Super Cup, and a Duran Cup. Surely that's down to Jude, who, to be fair, still looks pretty decent now. He looks pretty decent. He's a perfectionist. He's an elite midfielder, but at 29 years old, you may notice that he only has 15 caps, right? Now, what I thought, because I've got other save files from other, experiments and simulations and series, is what I'd do is I'd jump into one of them, I'd look at all the attributes and so on and caps for Jude Bellingham normally, and I'll make a little graphic for you, and I'm going to overlay it on in a second, and you feel free to pause it, and you can compare what a normal Jude Bellingham playing at an elite club in Europe looks like compared to this. And there we go. I mean, some of his attributes haven't changed, but it's definitely made an impact on him playing out in India, especially his international career. And that's kind of surprised me. I imagine he'd get a couple of caps. I know he's miles away and he's playing in a really low-level league, but surely he'd have got a cap or 2. But he hasn't, nothing, which is absolutely crazy. So yeah, those attributes in that simulation, I can't remember what save it's from. He left Dortmund and went to Manchester City. He's won millions of titles, playing his City's team week in, week out, and that's what he looks like. So yeah, let me know what you think. Here we are with his career history, and you can see he's playing a lot of games, great average rating, scoring a few goals, assisting a few goals, a few man of the matches. He is the captain, and he will stay the captain forever, apparently. Now, we're going to look forward. He's going to go into his 40s, his 50s, his 60s, his 70s, his 80s, his 90s, right? But will he keep playing? Will it be like Hendrick, where it's a bit of an Indian summer, if you know what I mean? Well, we'll see. Will North East United drop off a cliff when he drops off a cliff? And we're going to jump in 2067 when he's 64 years old. Now, this is around the time of my Haaland video. Now, in the Haaland video version of this little mini-series, I just pushed him to his pensioner age. Never really thought about pushing him all the way until the Hendrick video. And we jumped in at this time with Hendrick, so I thought I would jump in again with Jude. Obviously never played for England while he was in India. He's 64 years old. He's got 630 appearances, 76 goals. But is his career over? Is it finished? Let's scroll through, and it gets quite interesting for Jude now. He's in his 60s. Because something kind of happens, right? So we know they became quite a successful team. They won trophies when he was in his prime. And then he's obviously getting older and older, and the games start dropping off. As you can see, he's had a season now, he's played 13, and then, he has his 1 game season. You think, this is the end of Jude. Oh yeah, maybe. Has a season where he don't play, couple of appearances, doesn't play in 2060, which is 7 years ago. Doesn't play. Gets 1 game there, no game. So 1 game in what? 7 years? Wow. And then they got relegated, and I'm guessing, did they lose players? They probably had no money. They called upon Jude, who was in his 60s, and it looks like he played the majority of the season in the 2nd tier of India, which is mad. And obviously he's come back, they got promoted. What'll happen now? Will they just forget about him again? Have they used the old man because they got relegated? I thought it was brilliant when I saw that. I was like, really? So they did win a couple more trophies as well over the last few years, which is great, and I'm guessing he's helped with that. But obviously they ended up getting relegated, then they've won the league, and now they're back in the top flight. So let's jump forward a little bit more. So when he's 80 years old, and to be fair with this, it's like, with Jude, and I can't really remember with Hendrick, but I think it's similar. They get to this certain level at a certain age, and stay that way. The physicals have gone off a cliff, technicals have dropped. But I still reckon his technique and passing and first touch is better than some 20-year-olds in the Indian League. And his mentals are absolutely fantastic. But has the 80-year-old had any more game time over the last, 16 years? So as we know, when they got relegated, 16 years ago-ish, was it? They called upon him in the 2nd tier and he played. After that, they're like, actually, he's still half decent. He got 2 games, 2 games, 2 games, 1 game, 1 game. 3 games, 4 games, 1 game. He's starting to actually become part of the squad again. After spending years and not doing anything, it's like they remembered, you know what, you're actually quite useful. And then look at that, he got 10 games, and then when they got relegated again, he played 22 times in 2078, which is 5 years ago. He was 75 years old, and he's playing 22 games in the 2nd tier of Indian football. And again, look, he came back. It was 76. Played 12 games in the top flight. Then has a season where he doesn't do anything. Then they get relegated again, and they call upon. It's like they call upon him when they get relegated. Madness. But he hasn't played recently. Is that it for him? We've now jumped forward to 2099, and in a couple of weeks, Jude Bellingham makes his move home to Birmingham. Now, this is where I ended the Hendrick video, because I just thought, you know, he's going to go back to Brazil for a season. He won't play at all there in top flight Brazilian league. Let's just look at him at the very end of his little journey. But I decided to push it a little bit more with Jude Bellingham, and I'm glad I have, because I think the game gets broken. Not broken in a bad way, but it can't work things out. So he is 95. Did he play anymore while he was here? Well, as we know, when they got relegated again, they called upon him, the old man. Was he in his 70s, I think? And he played 20 games. But then this time I thought that he was done. Because they get promoted, don't play, get relegated, and this time he's not playing. Look, they're a second-tier team now. But then, after what? 4 years? He plays 8 games. Then randomly plays 8 games again. What is going on when you're calling upon a man of that age? Then he don't play for 2 years. Then he gets a game, right? And look at this. Doesn't play. And then when they get promoted, plays 8 games. And now here they are. They've been relegated. He's part of a relegation team. What the hell? So what's that? If he's 95 now, he played 8 games in the top flight at 94 years old. But he's about to make that move to Birmingham. This is where it gets mental. Jude Bellingham at 96 years old. 96 years old, right now. Has made his move home to Tom Brady's Birmingham City. My good friend Mitchell Holton, aka the Salmon FM, is a diehard season ticket holder at Birmingham City. His own son is called Jude, right? Anyway, so here he is. He's 96. I'm thinking, let's just do it for a bit of fun. Let's simulate this season and see what happens. And 2 weird things happen. One is that 96-year-old Jude Bellingham is freaking playing for Birmingham in the Sky Bet League 1, is it? He's playing. How desperate are Birmingham? Now, I wanted to make sure you didn't think I'm doing anything dodgy, because I'm not. Like I've taken him over and I'm forcing him to play him. But I'm not doing that, no. I'm not taking over anything. This is the manager history. Now, I did only turn on the English leagues, I think, in 2098 in preparation for this. But that's their manager, George Randall. He's a dude. Obviously, a regen who's very desperate. He's playing a very old man. But this ain't the weirdest thing. The weirdest thing, obviously, is he's playing. But it gets mad. Like, the game doesn't know what to do next. Because by the 1st of March... And it wasn't like this in January or February, but once it hit March, he becomes 38 years old. His attributes don't change, but he's no longer 96. It's even changed his date of birth to the 23rd of November, 2061. Why? I thought if he was ever going to do a reset like this, it'd be when they hit 100. It's not. By March, he becomes 38 again, and he's playing. He's now 38. I don't know, maybe it's the future. And they can do something scientifically. But the game just went, and made him 38. And if we jump forward to the 18th of May, this is the day before he retires. He decides to retire on the 19th. Now, I've done a million things in the past with players and simulations and experiments and all that good stuff. And I say the average age of a player retiring is 38, but why did it make him 38? I mean, at 96, with them attributes, it was playing him, but the game changed him to a 38-year-old in March. He's played the whole season. Technically, he's about to turn 97, let's be honest. And I just found it mad. Like, why has it done that? I've no idea, but he's still going to retire. He's had that one season in Birmingham where he's had 46 games and scored a goal, right? And now he's going to retire. I mean, it's put him down in the 23s, but he's been playing for that first team. As you can see, 34 games, 12 sub-appearances, 11 games in the Cup. A couple of games, obviously, for the under-23s. Bonkers, absolutely mental, madness. And if you want to see his biography, feel free to pause it, have a read. I've never pushed it this far with a player like this. I just found it crazy how it changed his age, not only his age, but his date of birth, and he's become an assistant manager once he retired from Birmingham. At 38 now, he's getting a second lease at life. He ain't done. We ain't going to go any further, obviously. He's not great. I don't care about that. But he's not dead. He's not going anywhere. He's staying around because I pushed him to the very limit and the game didn't know what to do. But before we go, let's look at North East United FC's overall best 11. And of course, Jude Bellingham is in that team with 966 total appearances and 137 goals. I think Hendrick got over 1,000 of each, didn't he? But yeah, he was a striker. But yeah, crazy. I love the fact that he had that career where, like Hendrick, I don't want to spoil in case you haven't seen the Hendrick video, but he had a big gap with nothing and then we got shocked. Whereas with this, he kept popping in and out and it was like forgotten about. Get relegated, ooh, we're playing because we've got no one else. Actually, he's still worth something, plays a few games, get relegated again, then you think it's over, then he comes back. Crazy, really, absolutely bonkers. And then that whole thing at the end, where he actually goes to Birmingham and before it changes his age to 38, he actually plays as a 96-year-old in like the third tier of English football for Birmingham City. How desperate were Birmingham City? Bloody hell. I mean, he's a legend. Didn't they retire his number? They did, didn't they? I found that crazy. And they've just sold his brother as well to Sunderland, haven't they? Job. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. So there we go. As always, thanks for joining me. Your view is the most important thing. I really, really do appreciate that. But if you want to help my channel out, you can. Hit that thumbs up. Comment down below. That really helps. I always get back to my comments eventually. Feel free to subscribe, hit that bell, you'll never miss anything I do, like my new story that will be coming very soon called Steel City. Very excited about it, a little bit different, but I'm excited about it. And I've done quite a few stories so far this year. Maybe you haven't seen them, maybe you have, maybe you need to catch up. I've done loads of stories and stuff and loads of content over the years. I've been around for ages now. Talking to someone the other day and realised I've been doing this since 2015. Crazy. I'm still going. I'm not going anywhere yet. You stuck with me for a little bit longer maybe. But yeah, thank you. Honestly, thanks. I might do a team one because I've just downloaded for something else the entire English League system down to level 15. I thought, what's the worst team at level 15? Let's give them a Wonder Kid worldy team, lock them in for 100 years and see how far and long it takes them to get to the top. And then what happens? Will they go back all the way to the bottom? We'll find out. If you're interested, let me know in the comments. But anyway, you stay happy, you stay safe. I love you long time. And I'll see you next time. I'm Bood. Bye-bye.